The hum of the engines filled the cabin of Zephyr Airlines Flight 217, a budget carrier known for its questionable reputation. Marcus slouched in seat 14B, a window spot he'd snagged after sweet-talking the gate agent. He adjusted his hoodie, peering out at the endless stretch of clouds. Beside him, his best friend Jamal fidgeted, already gripping the armrests like they owed him money. "Bro, you good?" Marcus asked, smirking. "We ain't even taken off yet." Jamal shot him a side-eye. "Man, I don't trust this plane. Look at it, seats creaking, tray table wobbling. I bet this thing shakes worse than my grandma's old washing machine when it's off balance." Marcus laughed, shaking his head. "You're wild. It's a plane, not a thrift store find. Chill." But Jamal wasn't wrong to be skeptical. Zephyr Airlines had a vibe. Cheap tickets, cheaper vibes. The overhead bins rattled as passengers stuffed oversized bags into them, and the carpet looked like it hadn't been cleaned since the 90s. Still, Marcus wasn't fazed. He'd flown worse. The captain's voice crackled over the intercom, smooth but with a hint of boredom. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is Captain Reggie. We're cruising at 30,000 feet heading to Atlanta. Weather's clear, so sit back and enjoy." "See?" Marcus nudged Jamal. "Smooth sailing, bro." Jamal snorted. "Yeah, till we hit a cloud and this tin can starts dancing." 10 minutes later, the plane gave a little jolt. Nothing major, just a hiccup. Marcus barely noticed, scrolling through his phone, but Jamal sat up like he'd been electrocuted. "Yo, what was that, man? Relax," Marcus said. "Happens all the time." Then it hit again harder. The plane dipped, shuddered, and rocked side to side like it was grooving to an invisible beat. Cups rattled on tray tables. A baby in the back let out a wail. Marcus glanced out the window, nothing but white fluff, but it felt like they were riding a roller coaster blindfolded. "Oh my God, we're done for." Jamal yelped, loud enough that heads turned. "This is it, bro. I'm yelling timber like we're in a forest, not a plane." Marcus laughed, trying to keep it cool. "Dude, it's just a little shake. You straight?" "Straight, this turbulence hitting different. I feel it in my soul." Jamal's voice cracked, half joking, half panicked. Across the aisle, an older woman with a silver bun and a knitted sweater sipped her coffee, unfazed. She caught Marcus's eye and smiled. "Oh, honey, this is nothing. Back in my day, we flew through storms in prop planes, seats rattling like loose change in a jar. Thought we'd drop out of the sky half the time, but here I am." Marcus nodded, impressed. "Respect, ma'am. You're a legend." Jamal leaned over, whispering, "She's too calm. That's sus. Maybe she's used to crashing." The plane jolted again, and a flight attendant, Lila, according to her name tag, stumbled down the aisle, clutching a tray of drinks. Her blonde ponytail bounced as she steadied herself against a seat. "Folks, just a bit of choppy air. No biggie," she said, flashing a practiced smile. A guy in a trucker hat 2 rows up waved at her. "Hey, can I get a diet water with that turbulence?" Lila didn't miss a beat. "Sir, we're all on a diet now. Diet sanity, hang tight." The cabin erupted in scattered laughter, cutting through the tension. Marcus grinned. "She's quick, yo." But Jamal wasn't laughing. "Man, she's serving drinks while we're bouncing. They ought to sit down before this gets real. This ain't normal turbulence. This is Zephyr Airlines chaos." Captain Reggie's voice came back on, steady as ever. "Folks, our autopilot's top-notch, so no worries. Just chill, all right? No need to get rowdy up here." Marcus raised an eyebrow. Did he just threaten us? Chill or else vibes? Jamal clutched his seatbelt. "Bro, I'm not catching these hands from a pilot. I'm already catching my life flashing before me." The plane steadied for a moment, and Marcus exhaled. Maybe it was just a rough patch, but then he noticed a dude in the back standing up. Hone out, filming the whole thing like it was a reality show. "Sit down, TikTok," someone yelled. Marcus chuckled. This flight's a circus already. Little did he know, the real show was just starting. The turbulence didn't let up. If anything, it got worse. The plane dipped hard, then lurched upward, tossing Marcus's phone into his lap. Overhead bins creaked like they might pop open and rain luggage on everyone's heads. Jamal's knuckles were white, his eyes darting around like a trapped animal. "Bro, who's flying this thing?" he hissed. "Autopilot's goated my ass. Feels like we're in a blender, not a Boeing." Marcus tried to stay calm, but even he felt his stomach flip. "It's fine, man. Planes are built for this, right?" A loud thud came from the galley, followed by Lila cursing under her breath as a stack of plastic cups hit the floor. She poked her head out, forcing a grin. "All good back here." Just redecorating. The old lady across the aisle, Edna, Marcus decided to call her, set her coffee down and pulled out a knitting needle. She started working on a scarf like it was a Sunday afternoon, not a mid-air earthquake. Pilots used to fake turbulence back in the day, she said, not looking up. Made us buckle up so we wouldn't wander around drunk. Smart trick, huh? Marcus blinked. Wait, you think this is fake? Edna shrugged. Could be, or maybe Zephyr just hired a rookie who can't dodge clouds. Jamal groaned. Great, either we're crashing or we're guinea pigs for Captain Reggie's mind games. The TikTok guy in the back, now dubbed Content King by Marcus, was still filming, narrating like a vlogger. Yo, this is wild. Zephyr Airlines, baby. Subscribe for more. A woman in a business suit spun around, glaring. Sit your ass down before you jinx us all. Content King plopped back into his seat, muttering, Chill, lady. This is gonna be lit. Million views easy. Marcus nudged Jamal. He's got a point. This is prime chaos content. Don't encourage him, Jamal snapped. I'm trying to live, not go viral. The plane rocked again, and a kid a few rows up started giggling, full-on belly laughs like he was on a carnival ride. His mom shushed him, but the sound cut through the cabin, weirdly soothing. Marcus caught Jamal staring. What? Marcus asked. That kid's unhinged, Jamal said, laughing while we're dropping. He's got no survival instinct. Maybe he knows something we don't, Marcus teased. Like, enjoy the ride, fools. Lila staggered back into view, her tray long gone. She grabbed the intercom, voice chipper despite the sweat on her brow. Folks, Captain Reggie says we're hitting some unexpected bumps. Buckle up and keep your trays stowed. We'll be through it soon. Unexpected? Jamal muttered. This ain't bumps. This is a full-on rodeo. Marcus glanced out the window again. The clouds were thicker now, swirling like they were mad at the plane for cutting through them. Another jolt sent Edna's coffee cup sliding, but she caught it without blinking. You're a ninja, Edna, Marcus said. She winked. Years of practice, kid. Then the co-pilot, a lanky guy with a buzz cut, emerged from the cockpit, looking flustered. He beelined for Content King. Sir, I need you seated, now. Content King waved him off. Bro, I'm documenting history. The co-pilot's jaw tightened. Document from your seat or I'll strap you in myself. The cabin cheered as Content King finally sat, pouting. Jamal leaned over. See, even the co-pilot's done with this flight. Marcus laughed, but the next dip wiped the grin off his face. The plane felt like it was doing the Macarena, left, right, up, down. A bag of pretzels flew out of someone's hand, smacking a guy in the forehead 3 rows back. Yo, this is war, the guy yelled, rubbing his head. Lila's voice came over the intercom again, strained but steady. We're adjusting altitude to smooth things out. Hang in there. Jamal clutched Marcus's arm. Adjusting? They don't even know what's happening up there. Marcus peeled Jamal's hand off. They got this, bro, probably. But doubt crept in. The cabin was a mix of nervous laughter, muttered prayers, and Content King's muffled commentary. Edna kept knitting. The kid kept giggling, and the plane kept shaking. Marcus wondered if Zephyr Airlines was about to become a legend, for all the wrong reasons. After what felt like an hour, but was probably 10 minutes, the turbulence eased. The plane leveled out, the hum of the engine steadying into a dull roar. Marcus let out a breath he didn't know he'd been holding. Jamal loosened his death grip on the armrests, though his eyes still darted around like he expected the floor to drop out. Captain Reggie's voice returned, smug as ever. Told y'all we'd be fine. Autopilot's the MVP. Welcome to smooth skies. Jamal scoffed. MVP? That thing was blending us like a smoothie. I'm filing a complaint. Marcus grinned. You're alive, ain't you? That's a win. Edna tucked her knitting away, sipping her miraculously unspilled coffee. Told you. Old prop planes were worse. This was a stroll in the park. Park? Jamal said. That was a haunted house ride, ma'am. Lila walked by, her ponytail slightly frayed but her smile back in place. Anyone need a drink after that? On the house. Trucker hat guy piped up. Still waiting on that diet water. The cabin chuckled, tension melting away. Marcus nudged Jamal. See, we're good now. Zephyr pulled through. Jamal shook his head. Nah, I'm done. Never flying Zephyr Airlines again. This was a warning shot. Content King stood up, carefully this time, holding his phone triumphantly. Yo, that footage is gold. Million views, baby. Zephyr's my ticket to fame. The business suit lady groaned. Great. Now we're all extras in his crash reel. Marcus watched the kid up front, still giggling as his mom handed him a juice box. That little dude's the real hero, he said. Laughed through the whole thing. Jamal frowned. Kid's got no fear, like a tiny sociopath. Maybe he's just smarter than us, Marcus said, riding it out like a champ. The co-pilot reappeared, looking less frazzled. He stopped by Marcus and Jamal's row. You two okay? Saw you sweating it out. We're good, Marcus said, but your autopilot needs a raise or a timeout. The co-pilot laughed. It's a beast, kept us aloft while we figured out those rogue air pockets. Jamal leaned forward. Rogue? Y'all didn't know what was happening? Nature's unpredictable, the co-pilot said, shrugging. But we're pros, you're on the ground soon. As the plane descended toward Atlanta, Marcus replayed the chaos in his head. The shaking, the yelling, the pretzel missile. It was a mess, but they'd made it. He glanced at Jamal, who was finally unclenching his jaw. Still think we're doomed? Marcus asked. Jamal smirked. Not today, but Zephyr's on my blacklist. Next time I'm walking to Atlanta. The wheels touched down with a thud, and the cabin broke into applause. Half relief, half sarcasm. Edna clapped politely, muttering, prop planes landed rougher than that. Lila waved as passengers filed out. Thanks for flying, Zephyr. Come back soon. Not a chance, Jamal said under his breath. Outside, Marcus and Jamal grabbed their bags, the humid Atlanta air hitting them like a wall. Content King was already posting his video, captioning it aloud. Survived Zephyr Airlines. Subscribe for the full story. Marcus laughed. He's not wrong. That was a survival tale. Jamal glared at the terminal sign. Zephyr Airlines. Fly the friendly skies. Friendly, my ass. That turbulence hit my soul, bro. I'm scarred. As they headed for the exit, Marcus spotted the kid from the flight, skipping alongside his mom, still chuckling. Maybe the little guy had it right. Laugh at the chaos and keep moving. Zephyr Airlines might have been a hot mess, but it got them there. And that, Marcus figured, was worth a story of its own.